And what would be the ballpark cost of a DUI case, start to finish, if it went to trial versus no trial?
With an attorney that, I preface this with saying there's lots of different quality of attorneys. With an attorney that you could really feel confident in, I'd say the ballpark pre-trial would be somewhere between $4,000 and $7,500. You got to look at it in terms of just plain old time. An attorney charges anywhere from $250 to $400 an hour on average, and if they're charging, say, $300 an hour, $4,000 would put them at 12 to 13 hours. That's not a whole lot of time on a case, but it is enough time to work and fight a case up to trial. On the other side, after you get to the point that you're going to trial, you're looking at probably anywhere from $2,500 to $5,500 per day of trial. These trials can last a couple days all the way up to a week. I would say most of them last 2 to 3 days, and I would say a fair charge for that would be somewhere between $2,500 and $4,500 a day. I'm somewhere right in the middle. You're also looking at forensic toxicologists, and they cost money too. A good forensic toxicologist costs several $1,000s to testify, and they're also going to be looking at the blood. If there was blood, they're going to be fighting the breath, and because of that, you're looking at a situation of a lot of money before trial and a lot of money once trial comes. And that's why I said it depends on what you have at risk, whether or not you should go to trial, because most of these cases, it costs a lot of money to go to trial, and the results may not be any better when it's all said and done. So you want an attorney who's going to be blunt and honest with you, because going to trial is really in the attorney's interest. It may not be in the client's.
Okay. And how about the DMV hearing? Do you charge extra for that? Is that typical?
I know attorneys that do. My office never does. I don't think that's fair to the client. The DMV hearing is a hearing that you can do on the phone if you so choose. It can also be done in person. The defendant can testify. A lot of times they do not, and the reason they do not is because anything they can say can and will be held against them in a court of law, because they have now lost their right to remain silent when they testify at the DMV hearing. So anything that they have said can be transferred over to the court. In terms of just the cost, I don't charge anything extra for that. I think it's a fair part of what I do to represent my clients at that hearing as well, with no extra cost.
Okay. And you probably answered this question 10 times already by your answers, but what do you feel really makes your firm unique in providing DUI defense?
I think there's two things that make my firm unique. The first is I'm very, very blunt and very, very honest with my clients. I do not feel it's fair to give my client anything less than the 100% truth, and that's the good with the bad. Not all attorneys are that way. Some attorneys feel it's necessary to protect their client, and by protecting them, they don't tell them really what they're facing from the get-go. I would rather a client not work with me because they don't like the truth from the get-go than to work with me because I gave them a rosy-colored glasses to start the case with, and that's not what really happens. So I'm very, very honest with my clients, and I think I get a lot of respect from my clients because I am so honest. And I think that's a fairly unique thing in this field, is somebody who is as blunt as I am. In terms of the second thing is, I'm always the attorney that goes to court. I don't pass the buck. I don't send anybody else. The only reason I would not be going to court is because I was in the hospital. And I'm sure there's some other circumstance that could prevent me, but the truth is, I've never missed a court date for my client, and that's being sick or not. I don't think it's fair to my clients to give anything less than 110%.
Okay. And the last question I have for you is, what personal statement would you want to make to all the future potential clients that are out there and that are watching this video and that are considering hiring you as their attorney?
Talk. It's real simple. Talk. Talk to the attorney that you intend to hire, or talk to 5 attorneys. Talk to them and find out if they are what they say they are. You want to know this attorney is going to represent you, and he's going to represent you strenuously, and he's going to represent you to the best of his ability. Ask questions. Ask questions of the attorney, and if he doesn't answer them in a satisfactory manner, don't hire him. Go to the next guy. If I don't answer a question that you're comfortable with my answer, go to the next guy. The truth is, I'm here to help you, and I want to help you. I want to earn your business, but I'm going to do that by being blunt and honest with you. And I want you to understand that that's why you're working with me. You're not working with me because I've fed you a story. You're working with me because you see me as somebody who can fight for you. And if you're talking to somebody else on the phone, ask the same questions. And if you don't like their answers, call me.